DIYers, what's going on? Whiteboards with the Whiteboards channel. Thank you for watching. We're talking security systems, and in the event that you are getting ready to replace the battery in your motion sensor, it might not have a battery. And in today's video, we're going to show you what I'm talking about. Let's take a look. DIYers, here we are at the hardwired motion sensor, and we are going to come to the very bottom. You can see the light turns on. We are moving the camera in front of the sensor, so that's good. It is working. However, it is in test mode. That is the important step one. And come to the very bottom of the sensor, and on the base that is actually secured to the wall with the screws, you can see the unlock pad icon on the left hand side, and then you see a center screw, and to the right of that a lock pad. And right now the screw itself is lined up with both the unlock and lock, and in our case we actually have to turn that 90 degrees. And I am going to carefully bring the camera back. And in regards to the screwdriver, we have a very fine tip, thin flathead. And again, go very slow, be precise. I'm going to push up with some decent friendly pressure as I simultaneously turn that screw 90 degrees. And let's take a look at it now. And there it is. As you can see, the notch of the screw is no longer lined up with the unlock pad nor the lock pad, and is straight up and down and pointing to the tension tab that has the lines in it. From here, I'm going to position the camera, and we are going to remove the cap. Taking a quick step back to a different camera angle. And again, I'm going to go underneath and push up carefully on that push button that has those lines in it. And I'm going to position my two fingers up top with my left hand and put my thumb right here. And as I push up on this tab or push button down below, I am going to simultaneously pivot the bottom portion of the sensor away from the base that again is secured to the wall with the screws, and pivot it upward until the upper slots feed away from the tabs inside. And again, I am also going to push down on the sensor just a little bit to ensure that I'm not putting too much pressure on the screws and damaging the securing strength of the base to the wall. And again, come down below and carefully push in on that tab, and as you do that, simultaneously pull away the bottom portion of the cap. Just like that. And carefully pull it away from the base, and as you can see, there's the hard wire feeding out of the wall and securing into the respective leads of the connection point of that small black plastic housing. And here is the back side. As you can see, again, no battery in here, no battery in here. And at this point, since we do not have to replace a battery, just check the overall condition inside the base. And if it's dirty or full of cobwebs, or if there's bugs in there, carefully clean it out. And if you use a vacuum, do not damage the electrical wiring. And if you are satisfied with the condition of the base as well as the condition of the back side of the sensor or inner side of the sensor, it is now time to re-secure the sensor to the base. And right here, you have two little tabs that have little indents in them. As you see here, more of a rectangle, not a perfect square. And these little tabs right up here have to fit inside those. So as I bring the sensor in place, I'm using my finger up top to ensure that the top of the sensor is flush with the top of the base. And once I get those tabs in that slot, I'm going to ever so carefully lower the sensor and pivot it back into the bottom portion here. And a quick feel of the top to ensure that, again, the sensor is flush with the base. At that point, holding up top and pushing down below with my thumbs until the push button locks in place and makes that clicking sound. Just like that. Take a second or two, run your finger all the way around the sensor, and ensure that it is properly secured. Last but not least, we are going to grab our very fine tip and thin screwdriver and carefully turn that screw to the left. Very slowly, very carefully, and applying upward pressure at the base of the screwdriver so I do not strip that screw. That's the last thing I want. And at this point, the screw slot is perfectly lined up with the unlock pad and the lock pad icons. And DIYers, that's it. However, before we wrap this video up, I do want to show you a motion sensor that does have a battery and does require a battery replacement when the system itself detects that the battery is low voltage. In addition to that, I do want to show you a Glassbreak sensor because we have a video down below in the comments and description showing the proper and safe way to replace a battery in your Glassbreak sensor. And DIYers, here we are at the Glassbreak sensor, and as you can see, first glance, it is much different from that motion sensor that we just removed and showed you the inner workings. And again, that was hardwired. However, in most cases, if you have installed Glassbreak sensors and motion sensors that are not hardwired and run solely on your internet connection, they have batteries. And we are going to show you how to properly and safely remove the cap to your Glassbreak sensor and replace the battery. There's a right way to do this and there's a wrong way to do this. Definitely don't do it the wrong way. So again, down below in the comments and description will be a link on how to do that. From here, let's go check out the motion sensor that does require a battery replacement. And here we are to the motion sensor that does require a battery, or in other words, has a battery inside that needs to be replaced once the system detects that it has low voltage. And if your sensor does look like this, it is very likely that it is battery operated and not hardwired, and will require replacing the battery. And DIYers, for your help and convenience, scrolling above right now is a link to a video that shows you the proper and safe way to replace your battery on your motion sensor that looks like this. So definitely check that out. We hope to see you there. From here, we hope this video helps. Do us a favor, below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. All right, DIYers, to the workstation, and we are always busy here. And this is my mom and dad's 2003 Sea-Doo GTX. We just pulled the engine out for a full overhaul and reinstalled it. And over here, my wife's 1995 Sea-Doo XP, and some upcoming DIY repair videos on that. We're excited about all of our jet ski videos. However, let's head to the workbench. Making our way around the jet ski, and DIYers, we are always busy here, working on jet skis, boats, and more. However, to the replacement batteries, down below in the comment section as well as the description section will be a link on where to purchase these. And they are CR123s. I know the original or old one is Panasonic, and we went with Duracell. We've got a lot of them because we are also replacing all of the batteries on our Glassbreak sensors.